Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And we are back today. Kind of a sad day, but I'm going to bring a guest up with me because he's been doing this with me the entire series. And this is our last video for season one. Diarra from Detroit. Let me bring him up here because I mean we might need a moment to shed a tear. I don't know. Is this
Oh,
a happy ending? Is this a sad ending? What do you think about episode 7 and then the finale? We're covering both today.
well, this is not a sad ending. This is as my title says, we finally get the truth. So this is a happy ending, but hopefully not totally the end because I love how it kind of left us there. So the word of the day is labyrinthine. Labyrinthine. That means maze like corridors leading to different directions. I felt like we were on this ride together. And I felt like, we were participating in a televised escape room. You know how you
Oh,
need different pieces to get to different parts and everything else like that. Some pieces didn't make sense and some pieces did make sense. But once we got the other part, you put it together. That's what this ride was all about. So labyrinthine. Look it up, family. Google it. Labyrinthine.
I remember the show back from the 80s or the movie rather, Labyrinth, and I was like,
Ah,
yeah, that was scary and that was a maze and they got stuck. It was a thing.
yeah.
I remember great illustration. It definitely suits where we're at with the story. But let's
Hey.
kind of do some housekeeping in the chat. Let's say hello to everyone because we've had some people show up already.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Daria, welcome, welcome, welcome. Patrice Harlson, welcome. Welcome to
Hey.
Diarra from Detroit. And then we have my good sis, Monique. Hey,
Hey,
sis.
hey.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we have Nola Summer Rain. Did y'all know
Hey.
Danger? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Been
found
talking
out a
about that.
couple weeks ago. Listen,
Yeah.
but Danger, that Danger, yeah,
Uh-huh.
something
And Glock.
special.
And you got Glock.
Well, well, I mean, Danger's something special. I was just,
Yeah, we was having your moment. Yes, we know.
yeah, yeah, that's all that was. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Monique Nicole, how are you today,
So
ma'am? So we always do this. We want to know ratings. And so today we're covering both episode 7 and 8. So we'll go in order, of course. Let's start with episode 7 rating out
yeah,
of a scale from 1 to 10. What do you give episode 7?
I give episode 7 to 8. I give episode 7 to 8. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was really good. Really good. We got some truth, right? We got some truth that is gonna lead into, everything else. So I'll give it an 8. I give it an 8. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. We'll definitely rock with I mean, you're rocking with an 8. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't like being cooped up in the snowstorm. I didn't like that we were just really in that location the whole time, but I will say they did drop some golden nuggets that
yeah.
were
Yes.
key to the finale. So in that respect, I'm a ride close behind you. I'll say a 7.8.
Okay, that's real close. It's like
You know
right
what I'm
on the
saying?
bubble.
I'll give it a 7.8, but let's
Okay.
get into it. So we start out and we are in a flashback, right? We
Yeah.
have Mama Vonda here, Miss Vonda, and we have a young Deontay, and we're kind of getting a narration by Diarra, and she's talking about fate, predestination. Do we really believe what's meant to be is going to be? You know what I mean? What did you think about kind of, I guess, her intrusive thoughts in this moment about everything working out how it's supposed to? What's meant to be is going to be. What's supposed to happen is going to happen. What do you think of that?
I mean, I agree with her totally. Like what is meant to be is meant to be. And in this case, she's really trying to work things out in her head. Again, still not having all of the pieces. But I think she's at the point where she's borderline gonna give up, but not really. She has faith. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. So I agree with that concept totally.
Okay. Let's see. Let's ease on down the road and see what's next here. And so, of course, we have little cute Deontay. Next scene we see my man is in there making chili. Now, this chili recipe was unlike any chili recipe I ever heard of. He said, a lot of people want to go the customary route. They want to use green peppers. They want to use, all these basic seasonings. He said, but the key to the chili, there's two things: turmeric, okay, and flaming hot Cheetos. What did you think
This guy's a
of Danger's
scientist, man.
recipe? He's in the
He's
lab.
straight, baking, cooking scientist. This guy is so like he's deep, man. He's deeper than we would like normally see a type of thief. Okay, he's not just a regular neighborhood thief. This guy is really into it. He was like, yeah, they even put turmeric on their faces. I was like, oh, okay, this guy knows his stuff, man. You're pretty professional with it.
Jay said he's deep. He's deep. He's deep.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Danger. I think more because I do feel like he's a deep thinker. I feel like he's a deep person. I feel like he's kind of a victim of circumstances and life choices. And we find out later lies that have been told to him.
Gee.
But I love his heart. He's very nurturing. He's very caring. He's, all those things. Monique
I
Nicole,
think he
yeah,
could have
yes.
been yeah, he could have been in like another career. Like if things didn't happen the way it did, he'd probably be a great therapist, masseuse slash therapist type of guy. I can see him, in the robe with the orange rocks, in this whole setting to make people come in and sit down, let us discuss and meditate. He good meditation. He's that type of dude.
I totally agree. Monique Nicole, yes, a 7.8, sis, a whole 7.8. Hey, Candy,
Still candy.
welcome, welcome, welcome. And yes, thank you. Hit that like button as you enter the room. Come on in the
Appreciate y'all.
room.
Yes, yes.
Monique Nicole says, Danger is a man with a number of trades. Yes, a man
Mhm.
of many talents. But while all that's going on, while he's making this beautiful chili for Diarra, right?
Sure
Because
is.
that's his boot thing. We
Mhm.
see the news flash.
Mm.
Aja, her fake man, okay, Mr. T, all at Diarra's house, right? And they see the news as after Aja prays, honey, because Diarra's missing, okay? And so he's like, hey, check out the news, y'all. And they're like, you interrupting Jesus, okay? And he says, but no, isn't Zervis the guy you're just talking about? He's been
Right.
unalived. And so immediate shock
Mm.
ensues. What did you think of that moment? Did you think they thought the worst for
Oh,
Diarra?
yeah. Oh, yeah, because they had an idea that she was gonna go see him and everything, right? So it's like, what could be happening here? What? This guy is gone? Isn't he part of the whole piece that we need in order to find this guy? Like, oh my God, what is happening? So yeah, I would think the worst. If I was in that situation and we're locked in as far as the snowstorm, yeah, I'm thinking the worst could happen to Daria. Where is she? She better show up. Nah, stop playing. She's alive.
Yes.
She's alive.
Absolutely. So meanwhile, back on the home front, Monty, Mr. T, everybody is looking for clues, right? I mean, in true
Mhm.
Diarra fashion, it's like we need to figure out what's going on and find our good sis. But not 2 minutes later, Diarra walks in the door. Okay. And before she gets there, and I don't have any clips from that, but we can talk about it. We find out who took Diarra, right? Now, who took Diarra? Was it who you thought took Diarra? Was it better?
No.
Was it worse? Was that a surprise for you?
It was a good surprise. It was another one of the cleanup jobs that my guy has to do. You know what I mean? Like, let me get her out of there. Let me use my brother. Let's clean this up. But I was pleasantly surprised, but I didn't think it was SWA. I didn't think it was, at all.
I didn't either. Or his raggedy brother Aaron, especially after she gets sent the bouquet of dildos up to the.
Yeah.
And he addresses that, and I thought it was a whole interesting thing, right? Because we find out in that moment that SWA has been in contact with the lady that we met earlier in the season, right? Goldie,
Hmm.
who is actually a mob attorney, right? Who Chris
Hmm.
was, aka Ambien, was negotiating with. And so she knows SWA. So SWA knows all Diarra's business. That's why they were able to swoop in. That's why they were able to grab her in the moment.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the brother Aaron having a man cave when he ain't have no woman. She was like, your whole house is a man cave, sir."
Look, I'm not hating on my man's cave. He had Tahiti on his mind. He had the tiki thing all set up. Like this is his space. You know what I'm saying? Like he is a officer. He needs a place of solitude. You know, he needs. We'll talk about the place of solitude, Superman, later, a little bit later. But yes, this was his spot. I get it, bro. I get it. I got my own spot. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you don't need to be married to have a man cave, okay?
I thought that was funny too. Monique 69 Ways says it was a shock for me. Listen,
Yeah,
it was a shock for me too. I was
yeah.
like, that's what we're doing. You're keeping that close of an eye on Diarra. So Diarra is
Mm.
not moving undetected, but she knows that. I think well, officially she knows it now. Aaron's man cave was hilarious. It was. I was like, really, sir? You done went all the way
All the
back.
way.
Okay. Lord, let's see. Now, and then also we saw something there as well. We actually saw Diarra and Swa have a
Yeah.
moment. The
Yes. Yes.
rekindling, the reconnection has started, and I know you always believed that that was going to happen, but what was it like to actually see it come to pass?
You know, I'm always about keeping relationships together, marriages together. Somehow, some way, it has to work out. So when I saw the reconnection and the kiss, I was like, all right, we getting somewhere. Let's go. But I think at that point she was kind of like, yo, I really, really miss him. And he really is trying to look out for me. But of course we find out a lot of other things about Swada he's hiding. We'll find that out later. But yeah, I mean, I said it though. I said that I don't think he really wants to get a divorce, and it doesn't look that way.
I can't with Swa. Listen, he is now he is. Fine. He is, but honey, he's shady boots, and I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. So now that Diarra's back home with the crew,
Yep.
she and Money are like, what's the next move? Whatever Zervis wanted, Diarra asserts, listen, it's got to be in this bag. It's gotta be
Mhm.
in this bag of Deontay's that we have, right? What did you think about that and how this is kind of all taking shape now? Okay, so now we've narrowed it down to the bag, something in it he wants. What are you thinking about the progression at this point as you're watching episode 7?
Yeah, we're getting closer. We're getting closer and closer to like, okay, everything that we need is in this bag. We just got to figure out what exactly it is. And I'm getting excited at this point because we're getting, again, like I said, it's the escape room, right? This televised escape room. Everything is in this bag. What is it exactly? I don't know. But we know that tape is in there. You know, what does this Mary J. Blige tape have to do with anything? You
Listen,
know?
we know
Yeah.
we're getting close. We know we're
Yeah.
getting close. And Mr. T is here looking shady and side eye because he left his boyfriend home and the DJ didn't want to be home. And he says, babe, listen, this is not a couple's retreat. We got stuck over here. No, you don't need to come because we know that Mr. T has been plotting his escape, honey, ever since he met that man,
Right.
that DJ at the club.
It's his fault. You
Well,
know, he fell for the old magic trick, you know, the con him out of the air. Ooh, I'm not impressed, but he was impressed. So it's his fault.
definitely was impressed. So, of course, now we have Mr. Danger who's come and he's brought his chili. We have the whole crew. And they're flashing back and basically we discover that there is a cassette tape. And this cassette tape is wanted by some of everybody because it's got the key to this missing child, right? And
Right.
so, unbeknownst to us, there have been all kinds of side deals worked out around this tape. Everybody's in on it, clearly, but Diarra, what are you thinking now as kind of again, we're getting so closer? What did you think was on the tape?
Well, I didn't know what exactly was on the tape, but for, Velvet and for this, I knew somehow the Mr. Greek was on there and something had to be important. But running back a little bit, I thought it was hilarious how he came in with the soup for her, explained everything, and really they were like, "Yeah, we're hungry." You know what I'm saying? Like, bring in the soup, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And then there was this tension between Swa and danger. You can feel it in the air. It was super thick. But I didn't know exactly what was on that tape, but it had to be something very, very important.
Had to be. And yeah, the tension was palpable, right, by everyone in the room. But Swat thought he was coming in there as the conquering hero, but I loved how the friends checked him right
Right.
away because where you been, Penny? Like you're coming in here like you're the savior, right? Mind you,
Uh-huh.
Danger's sitting right here. And Monty's like, well, she don't want you no way. She want the kidnapped Deontay. And I'm like, well, Danger, dang, Danger don't
Damn.
get a he don't even get a vote. And so I think then the next scene we see Danger and Diarra by the fire. And
Mhm.
I don't know if it's just the romantic in me and looking at uh her relationship with these 3 different men, right, that we've seen her experience through the series. We had Swa, her husband, who wanted an open marriage. We had Ambien, right, which was kind of like a one night situation that she became infatuated with. And then we have Danger, who once he realized she was back home and it was her, really has done nothing but pour into her. And it seems like he's last on her list. In this conversation, he's basically like, I'm not even tripping, that your husband's here. I'm not even going to bore you with all those questions. I'll just say, I think it's interesting you to never ask me to leave. And I was like,
Mhm.
well,
She want what she wants, she like what she likes, she needed what she needed, and he was providing thoroughly,
all
as
of
we
it,
find out as we find out from the therapist, but we'll get to that.
all
What
of
else
it.
was
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Okay. So now all heck is about to break loose and
Yeah.
danger becomes center stage again, right?
Mm,
So they're all sitting there, they got the tape. They just need to find a tape recorder. Okay. So Roman is like, I have one in the shop. Monty is like, hurry up and go. Everybody's like, you want me to go now? He's like, go now.
right.
Go now. Right.
Go
And
get it.
so during all this time, all of the drama, all of the hassle, we have a visitor. We have
Mm.
some visitors, and I hope I'm going in the right order. Well, no, let's do this first. Let's do Aja because a lot is going on in the house, and the house is kind of
Yes.
swirling at this point. And so
Please.
we know that Aja was on her celibacy journey, and I'm here for her. I too, I second that emotion, right? And so she's like, we need to break up. Talking to her cornerback man. She didn't call the man a quarterback, a fullback, a halfback. She didn't called him everything but his position, right? And so
Right.
he's like, I respect your relationship with God. And she's like, you stop respecting me, sir. You
So
stop
much.
respecting me so much.
He's
And I'm like, girl.
mm,
So they're up there
mm,
minding, their own business. Next thing we know, panties to the side,
mm.
and she's talking about just the tip. What did you think about that?
Well, I mean, for someone who, was on that journey a little bit for at least a year and a half, I could feel I want to, but I know I'm on this mission. But when she said just the tip, I knew it was over. I knew it was over. They were already kissing, they were already into it. And I knew from there, just like I said before, I said it on another program, that's what men usually say, hey, come on, just a tip. But she's just like, okay, just give me the tip.
And
And I was
she lost
dying.
it.
I was
The
dying.
the tip wasn't enough. We know the tip wasn't gonna be enough because then she said, "Oh, give me just the shaft." And then she said, "Oh, just 3 strokes." And it was
Three
like, "Well,
strokes.
sis, you in there
Three
like
more
swimwear
strokes.
now.
It's over.
You in there like swimwear now.
Ah.
It's a wrap." And
Rap.
so meanwhile, in another part of the house, because for some reason my slides got all out of order, but that's
It's all right.
okay, right? And so now Monty and Roman, he's back, right, with the tape
Yep.
recorder, and they are chatting, and he's basically making an appeal to her. And let's get it up, right? Okay. He's making an appeal to her, and basically he's saying, "Listen, I can't have you in this anymore. I can't have you out here investigating crimes with Diarra.
Right.
It's too much. I can't handle it. this is my situation that I've gotten us into, and I'm going to get us out. What did you think about their interaction? What do you think about how Monty feels and how Roman feels in this moment?
I mean, Roman is a concerned husband, like this is very dangerous territory. Like he didn't know and had no idea she would be kind of connected. Like this is all connecting, right? To his deal with the gang, right? And what he has to do and what he owes $50,000. But why is my wife involved? I don't want you to be involved with Diarra here. Like you're getting in deep. I'm already in deep. Like we gotta be here for our kids. So it was definitely a legitimate concern that he had. And he, I feel I would have did the same thing. Like, babe, I don't want you involved. Just go home. Like, go take care of the kids. Like, who's taking care of the kids? That's the question. Where the kids at?
At the babysitters. 'Cause it's a
Yeah, I
snow day.
guess.
Like you said, everybody's snowed in, they couldn't leave, so where are the babies? Where
Yeah,
are your
yeah.
children? But I get it, 'cause I think as a man, you never want your wife to have to come in and clean up your messes, right? Especially in
Right.
a situation like this. I mean, he goes even so far as to say, "Listen, I'm just gonna give them the shot. I'm just gonna give
Yeah,
it to them so that we
right.
can be done with this and out from under this foolishness," and I couldn't even knock him,
Yeah.
Lord.
He's a noble guy. Yeah.
Monique 69 Ways Johnson says something incriminating for sure about Deontay.
Mm.
Child, it's all gonna come out. Didn't know the hit request was on here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Celibacy who? Listen,
Still talking about
they
me?
trying to
Are you talking about me? I
I
was.
just said I just said, "Listen, I'm trying." Roman's concern is legit, and we didn't see
Yeah.
those kids since episode 2. You right.
You know what I'm saying? Where they at though?
Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Hey, sis. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Diarra
What
chat.
up, what
Now,
up?
be sure if you haven't followed either one of us, go ahead, follow, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, push this live out, honey, because yeah, we're just getting started good, actually.
No
So
doubt.
now we have the tape recorder, Jay, and we are ready to play it.
Oh shoot.
And who comes out? Jodeci. It's not Mary J. Blige like we
Nope.
thought it was supposed to be. Somebody done switched the tape, Jay.
Well,
What
see,
you
I
think?
thought it
Who?
was, when he said, "Oh," she said, "I hear Casey and JoJo." When she said Casey, I thought, well, Casey was on that album. You know what I'm saying? He was on the album with Mary, so
With Mary, yeah.
you know what I'm saying with Mary. Loving you is all that I gotta do. You know that joint. But she's like, this is it. Like, what the hell? Like, this is Jodeci. It's not Mary. So somebody switched the tape. Where the tape at, B? What's going on
Where
here?
the, where the tape?
Yeah.
What did you think in the moment? Did you just think, "Oh, something just must have happened, like, no one
She
here would
got
take it?"
she got me a little bit with that expression right there. Oh, and everybody's like, "What is it? What is it?" Wow. It's like, it's Jodeci, man. you know? Ah, man. No, I'm not singing it again, Candy. It's an exclusive one-time event.
Kenny says, "Sing it again, Jay. Go on, Jay. Go on, give him a
Uh,
serenade." Okay, Monique 69 Ways says, "I knew it was danger." Then second runner up Swa. And so
mm,
now we have to have another conversation because now
okay.
this is the moment when everything starts coming out and everything is going to start making way more sense, right? Because we're
Mm.
going on this journey. Um, and I believe you tell me, Jay, did we get our visitor first before they had this conversation or before?
I think we got the
Do you know?
visitor after they had the conversation. Like,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
That's what
When
I
the
think
visitor
so
came
too.
in, yeah, it was after the conversation. Like, we had to figure out who, the car part when we sat down with Swa and
Mhm.
Roman, we had to figure that out. And then it came down to, okay, well, who switched the tape up? Who was part of the
Yeah,
gang? What organization?
exactly.
Remember, she pulled out the sweatshirt. Okay, what organization? Mr. Greeks and this other shop, and this is the chief must own this, right? But who
Mhm.
switched the tape? And then
Yeah,
she
who's
figured
still got
out,
an allegiance?
right, right, right.
And
Hmm.
she's like, "He's always been a Woodward boy," right? And so we know
Right.
how Tiara's mind works, so she is going back in the archives of her mind, and she's like, "He's Danger's lying to me.
Yeah.
Danger is lying to me, and everything now is starting to make sense." And I think it all started with the boots. I think this was her clue.
Yeah.
Listen, and I have it somewhere, y'all. Bear with me.
Yeah, the
Huh.
silver that was in between the
Mhm.
grooves of his boot. Yep, yep, yep.
Mhm.
And then she put together that he was in the club and that he saved her and everything else like that. Yeah, I mean,
It all came out. There we
yeah,
go. Here we go. This is the one I
yeah.
wanted.
There you
The
go. Oh, that's a
silver
good pick.
in the boots.
Ah,
So now we know Danger has not only saved her life, but he's put in work for her. But
yep.
still, we're begging the question, okay, Danger, why? Why did you go to these lengths? What really happened? And so
Yeah.
basically, they're sitting by the fireplace, cozy. And finally, he's like, you're on this mission to find someone who is no longer here. That man gone. That boy is gone, right? So not only that, but we also find out about the fishbone. So now we go back to the 90s, okay? We see old boy Spider in the whip and we see a young Danger and he's basically given the location of Deontay, not knowing it was supposed to be Deontay Sr. He just knows the name, right? So he gives the guy the name, they snatch up Deontay. What did you think about the retelling of this story? And, you know, I guess what's been caught in Danger's throat for 20 some years now.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty sad. You know, first off, I felt sorry for Danger because his parents passed away, died, whatever way. I don't remember if he said how they died, but they were gone and then Velvet took him under her wing. I thought it was kind of wild that you would send a boy to identify a man. Like, come on. Like it was kind of like, nah, I don't really believe that they should do it like that. But again, this is a
Mhm.
storyline, right? So this is Deontay James, whatever. That's the guy. I clearly heard it, but they're going after the boy now. But still, the mission was accomplished where the strike didn't happen. You know, Deontay's father hit the bottle and everything went well, but still, they kidnapped the wrong person. And that was because
Mhm.
of Danger. And him getting that fishbone in his throat was very, very significant because he had to deal with the guilt of pretty much snitching on this kid, which was
Mhm.
the wrong person to kidnap. So it was pretty
Absolutely.
sad that Danger was going through this all this time, and as we go further along, we'll find out. Man, it's crazy what Velvet did. Period.
Yeah, it's deep. Yeah, it goes way deep, and not only
Yeah,
snitching, but then Velvet making him even as a little boy. He's like because finally in the conversation with Diarra, he's like, "Look, he's gone because I helped bury him."
yeah, yeah.
And we're like,
Heard
as a little boy, so
heard the shot and everything. Like, come on, you're a little kid going through that. I
listen,
think we
and
all would
in
have
that
something in our throat, right?
yeah, forever stuck, and in that moment, she was like, "I know he's not lying to me." Whatever
Mhm.
he's saying to me, he believes it 110%, and I just think it's so sick that Velvet would get him involved to that degree. Not the
Right.
snitching part you told, but then to actually make him culpable and a part of the whole process too,
Oh yeah.
and we know that's what kind of predators do, right? They'll make a kid feel responsible or culpable, right? And that is
Hmm.
gonna buy their silence.
Right.
But yeah, it was really
Yeah,
it
she
was
used him as the, supporting alibi to say that, yeah, this was done. We took him out. Don't worry about it to the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? That's why they had that truce because allegedly she took him out, took the kid out and buried him.
yeah.
Allegedly.
And so not long after that, we get the visitors. They bust in the door, right, looking for the tape, and Danger is like, "Look, give them the tape. He will take out every person in here. It's not worth y'all's lives, just give them the tape." And so Danger is going to give the man the tape, and Swa, trying to be Captain Sava, I don't know what, pushes the gunman, the gun goes off or the blicky goes off and actually shoots T in the knee. I was so outdone by the end of that episode because I'm like, "Swy, you ain't come to do nothing else. We know you need the tape for your nefarious purposes."
Right.
But what did you think of that moment? What
I mean, he's trying to save the day. That's what he does, right? He's trying to look good as he usually does. And he punched Spider, and then Spider just shot Mr. T, and Mr. T thought he shot him in the D. He's like, I think he shot me in the D. He's like, no, that's your knee. Well, you don't know how long my D is. It's like, it may be my D. It's like, all right, we got to get
Now,
him out of here.
Mr. T.
You know what I'm saying? So, that was the funny part. Yeah, he shot me in the D. No, he didn't. We can't take him to the hospital because they got to report, shots and all of this and that. So it was pretty, intense. I liked it.
It
A
was.
lot of
It was
action.
actually an action-packed episode. 7 towards the
Yeah,
end was very action-packed, and again, now Diarra thinks her quest is over, right? Like, the quest is
yeah.
over, Swa tried to protect me. He
Hmm.
wants to take me home. Let's go right in. Let's go right in, Jay,
Let's do
to
it.
the season finale,
Yeah.
House on Blaine. And, ooh, I'm going too fast, honey. Slow down 10 speed, which is what I wanted them to do because I didn't need them to do that. And before we get off into episode 8 that deep, let's see what else they're saying in the chat. So Monique says, I got scared about my baby Danger for a minute. Listen, me too, because I didn't know. I said, do we have to hate Danger now? Is he a bad guy?
Uh,
But every move Danger's made so far, he really has been trying to protect Diarra, I think, as much
yes.
as he can, right?
Hmm.
Yes, Candy, it's worth it. It's worth it, especially
Oh
now
yeah.
that they're all out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they gonna believe a little kid.
Hmm.
Girl, Monique, I'm glad I'm not alone because I was like, "Swy, if you don't sit your square tail down, what?" With that moment, sit your lawyer. Yep, set it on down. T is stupid. He
Hmm.
is. He's so funny though. T turns out to be one of my favorite characters. But okay,
Yeah.
we are into the finale now, honey, and
All right.
Swa done brought Diarra back home, and she wants to ride that pony. You called it, Jay. I mean, I'll always give credit where credit is due. You
Salute.
said this was gonna happen, and it happened. But I'm kind of mad she busted it back wide open for Swa. I know that's her husband, but I just don't like how he played in my good sister's face. What'd you
Well,
think?
well, when she believed Danger after that whole story, I mean, it was very believable. Like, yo, you're 30 years late. We took this kid out, buried him. The guy that had the bag and the guy that you met, he's a con man trying to, set up the Greeks and, the crew, right? He's trying to get over. He's a con man. So she at that point was like, where else can I go? I need to just go back home. I mean, and at the same time, remember they kissed earlier in the last episode. So the energy and the vibe is there. He has expressed on many occasions, listen, I want you back. Things are not working out with me and that other girl. And, I told you, this was after we kind of like broke up or whatever, that I started messing with her. So all the right vibes and signals were going in Diarra's direction. So what else could she do? You know what I mean? Like, really, she couldn't go with Danger, right? So yeah,
No, I guess not. I
go
guess she
back home to
could.
your husband.
I guess so. And then the next scene we see, honey, is Mr. T getting worked on at Miss Vonda's house, Mama Vonda's house,
Yeah.
by the Hood MD. Now, listen, Mr. T said, is this safe? Is he, I mean, he's not a doctor. And he said, that's because the medical board. He actually is a doctor. He's
Right.
just the hood doctor. But the most disgusting part about this, Jay, was that heifer eating that chili over an open wound. When I tell you, I don't know if I needed that comic relief in the moment, Jay. I was disgusted. What did you think about Hood MD and his girlfriend?
Well, the funny part of Hood MD was the fact that he said, you know what? My policy, well, before the other policy, but my policy is, I don't ask questions. So what happened? And he's like asking questions. Like, you said you don't ask questions. Why are you asking questions? So that was funny. And then his other policy is, yo, I got a policy. Nobody talks to my girlfriend. All right. I was like, okay, man, this guy is funny. It was pretty funny. And yeah, she was just eating. How you want to eat right in front of this man, like trying to heal him or sew him up? Like, it was definitely a hood medical center right there.
And licking her fingers. Like, girl, why are you licking? There's all this blood and bullets, and you're just
He's like,
ugh, 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 ugh.
he's done this before, obviously, right in front of her. Don't talk to
Yeah,
my girl.
she used to it, honey. Now we have Swa. Listen,
Uh-huh. What song was they playing when you walked in? You remember?
Child, I don't know, I blocked it out. I just saw him. I
You
saw
just saw him walking
him
the
in
door.
that big old bathtub. I said, "Let's luxuriate, Swa." Like, I
Uh,
couldn't even be mad at Diarra in the bathtub in this moment because 'cause I'd have been right there too. Yeah, let's go on, and get in that tub, all right?
uh-huh.
And so they're having a moment, Jay, they are reminiscing on
Yeah.
times gone by,
Mhm.
and she says, "I really miss you, I miss you." He's like, "Well, I miss you too." And she's
Mhm.
like, "Well, why?"
Mhm.
Discussion, but she kinda makes the assertion that, "Listen, I think Swa married me because he wanted some adventure." He swear he don't,
Yeah.
but I think he likes the adventure. What did you think about that moment?
I mean, I thought she was right in that assessment, Like, yeah, he doesn't want the regular chick. He wants an adventure and he knows that I'm that type and that he knows how my mind kind of works. So, yeah, she had it figured out and it was good that they were back in the bathtub together. It was almost at the point that I thought this was really going to happen, like they're really going to get back together and try to do something with this case or not do anything with this case. Just the fact that they got back together, I was just happy about that.
Mm-mm. Yeah, they back together. They back
Mhm.
together. But again, things are starting to make more sense, right? So he's found a cassette player, and so he gives her a little bit more insight now because we did find
Yeah.
out in episode 7 that Swa, in a way, was trying to protect her. I still think he is in bed with the bad people in another way because, like he says, "If I give you this tape, me and Diarra are off the hook." So I don't think it was purely altruistic on his part in that he was just Supermaning in to save her. I think he's got some culpability. Do you think that Swy is a shady attorney, might have some strange
Well,
bedfellows?
I mean, he is an attorney, right? And he is well connected, right? And he is well liked, right? So, in order to be well liked in a place like Detroit or any city, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty a little bit on one side while the other side is clean, right? So there's a possibility of what you're saying that he does have, some little communication with some unscrupulous people. But I think honestly, I really think that he just wanted her off the hook. I really think that he just wanted to, kind of like drift off into the sunset with DR and be like, yo, here's the tape. Just leave us alone now. Let's move on. If I need anything else, I'll get back in contact with you for whatever. But yeah, I honestly think that he wanted this to be over for real. He didn't want her to
This
be involved.
whole her whole detective
Yeah,
agency.
he does love her. He does love her, but he does see the adventure side of her. And it's like, I don't want you to be in danger because you almost got taken out with the Greek guy. Like, we had to come and scoop you up. Like, this is getting crazy. This is getting ridiculous. Like, we got to stop this. So I
Yeah,
honestly think that he was sincere.
okay. Now we saw Roman and Monty, okay? And he's like, "Look, enough is enough. You're following after Diarra, and I'm scared for you. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna go handle this with the Woodward boys in Velvet." And walks out. What'd you think, Jay?
Mm.
Again, Roman trying
I don't
to
know what he was gonna do. I mean, again,
that's what
as
I
we
was
get closer to the ending, it's just like I'm like beating like my head, like, come on, Roman. But again, he is a man, and he obviously is a fix-it man. You have men who just want to fix the problem, who want to just get rid of it, get the family out of the way. He's a protector, okay? He's a provider and a protector. So as a man, he's gonna do what he can. He is connected to the streets, so he's gonna try to figure it out somehow, some way, somehow, some way.
Monique says, "Don't get that spicy ish on my wound back up." Listen, I don't want no chili in an open wound. Diarra does have an off button. Don't have
Hey,
an off button. She
you're
don't.
right. You're right about that.
Yes, he's shady. He like, "Oh, yeah, we gonna get to it. We gonna get
That
to it." Roman is out of it. Yeah, because 'cause I'm like, "You don't have
he
nothing
is.
to offer that lady."
He is. Because when he made the offer, it was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
So we'll
that's
get
what I
to
said.
it.
And so we finally get to hear what's on the tape because Diarra had actually switched the tape back because she's just that slick, okay?
Yes, she is.
And so it starts out real love, like, okay, we're listening to Mary, right?
Mhm.
Middle of the tape, we hear a conversation. Now, I didn't talk about this in episode 7, but we did get to see Velvet's room and we saw a picture above Velvet's bed of one of the 90s strippers that Diarra had tried to get in contact with, but was
Mhm.
unable to. Okay. So now we're coming
Mhm.
full circle. Things are going to start making sense. We hear the tape. We hear Zerbis. We hear them talking about the boy. We hear Velvet. Velvet saying, we got to take this little boy out. We hear a woman's voice enter, which basically is like a kid and Velvet's like, "Yeah, the chief ordered it." The woman says, "I don't give a darn about what the chief said," right? Next thing
Mhm.
we hear, pop, 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 blop, blop, blop. Okay.
Mm.
And Diarra, it's turning in her mind. What did you think about the revelation on the tape and how Diarra connected everything?
I see why they really want this tape. This is very incriminating for everybody that's on that tape, from Velvet to everybody involved. And man, this is some serious stuff. But the fact that she was putting it all together, and when she heard the shots, she figured that it was the detective that the other detective was partners with, the old man who put the
Elias, his
spider
partner.
on his hand with his blood and everything else like that. Because Spider took him out, so he was trying to tell the other detective. I was like, this is a dope ass show. That's all I was saying. Like, I love this. I love this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So for her to put it all together like this, I mean, yeah, we gotta do something with this tape. We gotta hide this. I don't know, man. We gotta get away with this tape and we gotta get the chief. I still don't know who the chief is. And I guess that's why we have to have a season 2. We have to.
We got to. There's nothing they can do about it because they left us with so many. By the end of this episode, I was like, okay, that's
Right.
it. Like, y'all not gonna give us a conclusion. You're not gonna tie it with a bow and make it pretty. Like,
No,
and then
no.
she's saying wild stuff, and I'm thinking, what's finna what is
Yeah.
everyone not gonna be here? Like, okay, but we'll get to it.
Right. Yeah,
And
we'll get to
so
it.
now we are back in the kitchen and she kind of put everything together, but now her mind is who is the other woman, right?
Yes.
And so then and I
Because
didn't
she
mention
doesn't
this
know it's
before.
Velvet. She doesn't know it's Velvet.
No.
We heard the voice because
Or
we know Velvet's voice, but she didn't know it was Velvet that was
yeah.
talking.
Or the stripper lady, right? Because that's the one
That
that
lady
she had
too.
been looking for to
Mhm.
try to connect with. And so I forgot to mention this too, but the first night when they got busy, she was like, I'm not on birth control. And Swab was like, I
Mhm.
don't give a F about that. And I was like, that's
Ah,
interesting. And so
I missed that.
now Diarra's
Yeah.
like, now that we got all this out the way, why did you ask me for an open marriage? If you really want us, if you want this to work, why did you ask me for an open marriage? And he's like,
Mhm.
And she said, it was a diversion, wasn't it?
Like you do in court. Yeah. Well, no, but boom. Walk out the door.
Listen, Monique already
Man.
said it. Yes,
Yep.
he's shady. He lied to Diarra about that
Sure
snip
did.
snip. Real life story.
Mm-mm-mm.
I dated a man for 8 months. Do you hear me? We were planning
Mm,
everything out. Okay. A,
mm.
a, a fine chocolate man. Okay. Talked. He'd had a couple kids before, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, but kids are something that I want, marriage, kids, all that. Do you know that this person, I'm keeping it
Mm.
cute and keeping it
Person.
clean,
Yes.
told me 8 months in that
Mm.
he had been cut and snipped
Oh
and
my
had been lying
god.
about it the whole time. Like, who lies about that?
Terrible.
Why are you lying, bruh? Why?
Terrible. Terrible. Damn,
Why?
damn, damn. That is messed up. Nah, it really is, and I don't know, weren't they with Diarra, and thank you for sharing that story, but weren't they, in the clinic and they were saying that she couldn't
Trying.
have babies and all of this and that,
Yes.
making her feel bad, making her feel like, "Oh, this is your fault why we can't have children," but
Yes,
yo
like she was
ass, why?
infertile. Yeah,
Yes.
and knowing it, that is just
That's effed up.
such deception. So she
Yeah.
says that in his first marriage, we know he married that young lady because he got her pregnant and he didn't wanna be a baby daddy, he didn't wanna have a baby
Mhm.
mama, and he got a
Mhm.
vasectomy during that marriage and just decided to marry her and never tell her knowing she wanted babies. Listen,
That's very trifling, yo. I cannot
mhm.
defend that at all. I would
He
never
did.
defend it.
He needed his
Yeah.
behind whooped. He did.
Mm-mm-mm.
Listen,
Yeah.
absolutely. 8 months away. Well, I ain't waste the time. It was fun, but he
Yeah,
was
stop
wrong.
it.
He was listen, that man
She
was
had her fun, right?
yeah, he was fine, 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 fine.
Okay.
But yeah,
You love
no,
the
yeah.
chocolate, boy. Chocolate gets you in
Listen,
trouble.
something different, hit different. Okay, now now we get to go and see now we get to go and see Danger. Danger is having his therapy session, okay? Minding his black-owned business, in the place,
Ooh,
talking to his good therapist, which we know, if you know Tyler Perry shows, movies, you've
yes.
seen this woman before.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Hilarious. She is funny as hell.
listen,
uh,
I loved his therapist. I couldn't
yeah.
Miss Loretta. I can't even front, and so
Loretta.
Diarra in true Diarra fashion, comes
Yeah.
in, messing up the therapy session because now she's got theories, okay? And Miss
Ooh.
Loretta cussed her a little bit out. What'd you think of this whole interaction, Jay?
Yeah, Miss Loretta know everything because your boy Danger is a bad refrigerator. He can't hold nothing with this lady, right? Nah, she's cool though, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know he like you know what I'm saying? But you got him letting him massage you and do the fingers with you. I was like, oh shit. I was like,
Told
damn, Miss Loretta.
everything.
Everything. I was like, word? We didn't see that part. Danger was getting it in, sliding in first base side of the
She
home.
didn't say he was doing all that. She didn't even tell us
Uh,
he was slipping and
well,
sliding.
you know, as a masseuse, as an unlicensed masseuse, these things happen. You know what I'm saying? That's what got me through
Personal
college.
experience, Jay.
Well, it
Oh,
got me through college. Yeah. Oh, yeah. In college, listen, you know, when I needed some food, I needed a ride to the store because I didn't have a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, would you like some relaxation? So I would go over and, you know, get the lotion and you know, these big hands were built for something. And
okay,
yeah.
now we have to explore this a little bit more because now I have questions, Jay. Was this okay, first of all, how did they book appointments? 2, were there happy endings provided? 3, was this a whole business? Did you have employees? Like, did you have regulars? These are the things we need to know.
All right, so it was a private business. This was in college, okay? And you know, in college, sometimes you know your parents will send you some money or whatever, and sometimes you know you have more month than money. So sometimes you get hungry, you're tired of eating spam, and you know, word gets out. All you have to do is just do one good one to make them fall asleep, okay? And once they fall asleep, then the word gets out. Jay does great massages. So if you need a massage because you're stressed out from your homework, just let them know. So I was like, listen, every young lady that, you know, hey, I want one. I want one. Listen, I need a ride to the store. Listen, I need a plate. You know how to cook? Make me a plate. Da
Oh.
da da da. So I would come over, be even exchange. And was there a happy ending? I don't kiss and tell. So yes, that was the business. That was the business. That was my entrepreneur. I started off as a DJ, but I was also a masseuse for the side in college. So that's how I got through college. Yeah.
A
It's great.
unprofessional professional masseuse
Unlicensed, yes.
who would also take plates and
Oh, yeah.
rides in place
Plates
of
and
coins.
rides.
Okay, a barter system. Hey, fair
Barter.
exchange ain't no robbery.
Absolutely.
Now, Ashley,
Took
I'm
a
so
bonus.
sorry to hear that happened to you as an idiot.
Oh.
1, why did he lie for 8 months? And 2, does he not know that listen, he ain't need no
Mm.
more kids, no way. But yeah, just a lot don't care who tell it, right? That's what the old folks used to say. A
Mm.
lot don't care who
A
tell
lot
it.
don't care who
Unlicensed
tell it.
there.
Yes,
Listen, and
ma'am.
still charged by the hour. She wanted her coins.
You know what I
Yep,
mean?
just like the Shy, cause didn't, Emmett's mama had the little young boy
Uh,
masseuse that turned into something
no, he was
else.
licensed though. He had the whole, you know,
Was he
table and
licensed?
everything. And yeah, he was for real, for real. Like if I went that route, I'd probably be in trouble right now. I probably have 5 kids right now.
Yeah. Monique Nicole said, "Wow,
Yeah,
this
you
is
learned a lot
interesting."
about me, Monique. Uh-huh. You learned a lot about me. Well,
And he
well,
said,
well.
"Well, well, well."
This is transparency day, boy.
Listen, we're sharing is caring. We're telling it
We're
all.
human. We're human. Funny
We're
stories.
telling it all. Okay,
Share this
so
out, hit the like button.
yeah, if you want Jay to tell any more college stories, because I'm intrigued. I need to know. So they're in there chatting, right? She's
Yeah.
talking to Danger, and she is like, "Listen, Danger, we need to go to where you think you buried Deontay because I got a feeling Deontay is not where you think he is." What next thing we see
Mm.
ourselves in the forest, honey, and they done dug up a teddy bear.
So I was happy.
Oh,
Uh
hold on, Jay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
see it.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I see it.
Hold on.
I
It deserves something though. Hold on.
what you
I'm
got?
trying to get to my thoughts. I'm trying to Monique Nicole wants to know, but are you still taking clients? Listen, it deserves it.
So, like we were saying, the teddy bear and I was a little, like I was laughing and I was kind of sad for your boy Danger because all this time he thought that it was a real body. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, yeah.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, are boundaries, I guess.
Ah.
But yeah, I was surprised too because Danger, he got the stuff stuck in his throat again, his fish bone, right? And was and all that. I was like,
Yeah,
Lord, y'all, but they'd be able to, well, I don't know. It would be a bag of bones by now, right?
right.
After all of these years, had it really been a person in there, um,
Yeah,
it would have been just a bag of bones at that point.
right. Totally decayed. 30 years. Come on.
Yeah. And
Boom.
so now we are back to Diarra
Mhm.
and her visions, because we know one thing about Diarra, she gonna have a vision, right? She's
Yes.
gonna replay things in her mind, and so now we're seeing Deontay again. What you think? If I can be honest with you, I'm really sad that there was no super secret Negro
Negro
soldier
Lee.
society.
That's what you wanted? You wanted David Allen Career to come out with the beard and you
I
just expect a
did,
little bit
or
more.
Samuel L. Jackson. That would have been prime time.
Oh,
Samuel L.
okay.
Jackson, like Nick
What
Fury
about
vibes come out. Yeah.
what about Eddie Griffith? What was that guy with the afro?
That would've worked for me too. I like Eddie Griffin, he's funny. That would've
Yeah.
worked for me too. Samuel L. Jackson, though, would've cussed everybody out, and I like that. It would've been funny.
You gotta pay a lot of money for that, Diarra, so maybe next season. But yes, her
Mhm.
figuring it out, seeing what he was doing in her head, trying to make deals, trying to make phone calls, trying to set up the Greeks, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to figure out who the chief was. Who's the motherfucking chief? Right? Talking to Velvet and all of that. It was just playing out in front of us, which was dope. Um, but again, she's like, why am I the one that found the bag? You know,
Mhm.
Big Tank was looking for the bag. They was all looking for the bag so they could find the tape. Everybody's looking for this tape. Why did I find it? And it goes
Yeah.
back to the
Fate.
destiny,
Yeah.
right? The statement about, what will be.
Is it
But
meant
this
to
was
be?
like,
Yeah.
yo. And
It was.
you saw Danger kind of like, like getting himself together. Like all these years, 30 years, I thought we took this kid out. And that cleared up his throat finally. You
It
know what I
did,
mean?
but
That
also
yeah,
broke his heart because, like
yeah,
we said, Velvet had been a surrogate mother for him, and
right.
so now knowing that she knowingly lied to him all
Mm.
these years, had him believe that he was responsible for a kid's unaliving, had him bury this teddy bear thinking it would, she I think, like you said, that part was clear, but then it's like, I'm heartbroken because she was supposed to love me. Curtis was supposed
Traumatized.
to love me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, listen, I think all of us, you live long enough, some of us sometimes figure out that our parents or people who watched over us, they lied to us a couple of times. And when you figure that out, it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's very disappointing, very disappointing. So I felt for
It
Danger.
is. I did too. I did too. And he'll have to contend with that. Now Diarra
Yay.
is awake and she knows she's got to go handle business because now it's confirmed Ambien's alive. We know, listen, we know he's alive. Okay. So her
Yes.
theories before now have been correct. She really has been on the right path this whole time, even though there were twists, turns. And so now it's time to talk to his mama, the Felicia Rashad, the Claire
Yes.
Huxtable.
I love
Okay.
seeing her. I love seeing
Listen,
her.
beautiful to this day.
To this day.
Beautiful, talented, incredible, the GOAT,
Yes.
like, give this woman her flowers, her awards,
Absolutely.
her everything because she's amazing, but, Diarra
Mhm.
comes to her and is like, "Look, I need to leave a copy of my podcast with you, okay?" Because at this moment, Diarra don't know if she coming back alive because it's about to
Right.
get critical, it's about to get crucial, but she's like, "I'm gonna bring you back a present, the best gift, you could have ever received." And
Mhm.
Miss Vonda's like, "Girl, I don't know what the F you're talking about, like, you don't make no sense." And they have an interesting conversation that centers around courage, right? And
Yeah.
fear. And Miss Vonda says that courage is just doing it, no matter what, just doing it afraid, doing it however, and fear is sitting still.
Right.
And Diara's like, well, I do the most, so I must be super courageous. What did you think about that interaction? I thought it was a kind of a beautiful moment there between them.
It was a beautiful moment. At the same time, Diarra was trying to give her codes, give her, a little something like, I know your son is alive. I'm just not going to tell you right now until I really, really find out. And it was a beautiful moment at the same time. We're watching her look at the wall. And she said, I want her to have a grown picture of her son on this wall.
Yeah.
So now it's like, all right, I really got to finish this mission. And I thought it was kind of dope how she was really caring at this point for Deontay's mom, of course, Deontay, and just really, once I solidify this, once I get him back home, like mission will be accomplished. So she, the advice of not sitting on your ass. If you sit on your ass, you ain't doing nothing. Just you better go out there and just do it. You know what I'm saying? It was great advice for all of us. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? You want to be courageous? Show you're courageous by doing something, not sitting on your ass. So let's
that
go.
part. Do something. Listen,
She
get
needed
up and
that.
make it happen.
Yeah, she needed that.
Consistently, right? Yeah, I think
Hmm.
so, and that was a great moment, and of course, it made me, um well, we'll get to it because it did open up more questions for me about, the nature really of who Ambien is, and maybe and
Hmm.
I've looked everywhere, I don't see a confirmation for season 2 yet, but it has to be coming because this was so
Yeah,
well done. But it
so
did
well
beg
done.
the question, like, "Chris, you were out here doing all this to get to the bottom of something, but you never reached out to your mom?"
Mm,
Because Miss Vonda really
mm,
thinks he's gone, and so it begs the
right.
question, and we've heard him called a con man 3, 4 times by 3, 4 different sets of people, 2 or 3 sets of people, and so it's got me side-eyeing Ambien, if I can be honest with you.
Okay. Okay. Well, again, it's like we got the pieces to conclude this part, but there's so many other pieces that they are intentionally leaving out for season two. I'm calling it right now. Season two is going to happen. Let's make it happen. Come on, Diara. Come on, BT Plus. Make it happen, please, because we need it.
We
We
need
need it.
it. It was so well written. And just a side
Mm,
note, let's just have this moment because it's rare nowadays that we get creatives, right? Black creatives that get to
yeah.
truly express their vision of something that's different and that's not just what mainstream media or like the man wants them to produce. And that's
Yeah.
what I think is so incredible at this about this series because like she said, I'm the Black Nancy Drew and we needed that. We needed
Yeah.
something that was lighthearted, that was kind of whimsical, that was off the cuff, that wasn't heavy and beating you down every second. I think we needed that. I think the culture needed this. So,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree that the
Yeah.
culture needed it. At the same time, this is way different than everything else that we see on TV. Period. Like, period. We're power people, we're BMF people, we're, Tyler Perry ruthless people. We're that. But this right here, very cleverly written, done, executed. The entire cast is amazing. So this was great. It's great.
Really was. Diarra
Yeah.
had some big kahunas. Yes, she did. Yes, season 2.
Yeah.
Definitely gotta get us yes, we need it. True,
Yeah.
we did need it was long overdue, absolutely. So the fact that
Mhm.
they greenlit it and pushed it, I'm hoping it speaks to other networks as well.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that right there
Well,
because
it is
this
under
this is what
Paramount, so hopefully Paramount will see the numbers. You guys watch it again. So, Candy, you want another season? That means you got to binge it and watch it again because we've been watching it over and over and over and over. So, you got to get those numbers up so we can get season 2.
they are definitely getting the views out of me because 'cause I'll watch an episode 2, 3 times just to
Right.
like, "Okay, what?"
Me
So,
too.
the plan is being executed, and with Diarra, our good sis, there is going to be a wardrobe change, okay? So, they have a plan already in motion, Danger's in on it. We have Monty outside with her who's gonna be the getaway driver and lookout, and Diarra's like, "You cannot come in this house, okay?
Right.
You're a wife, you're a mother, all right? So
I'm
you
mama.
stay your tail out here and
Yep.
I'm going to go in once Danger gets the sign. So basically the plan is Danger's going to go in. He is going to distract Velvet. Diarra's going to come in the back end because they're looking for this key because Danger said on Velvet's property there's a little shed with a lock and he thinks Chris aka Ambien aka Deontay could
Yeah.
be there. So Miss Velvet was looking very lavender today. Uh,
First she's green, then
ve
she's red. She's
listen,
whatever she
she
wants
was
to be. Yes,
looking
it is.
ve yeah, definitely Monique Nicole for
Yeah.
sure, worth the watch. And so she's sitting there, "Where's the tape?" Danger comes in and it's like,
Mm,
"This ain't that, brother. Listen, I need to
mm,
know whose side you're on. Did you bring me the stuff?" That's all I'm concerned about, right? And
mhm,
so we're kind of just going through it. Meanwhile, Diarra sneaking in through the back, honey. But while she's sneaking in the back, Roman come with the keys to that raggedy car. Like, who
mhm.
wants this raggedy car after 100 years, Roman? And why did you think that would be enough? What did you think of this whole situation and scene, Jay?
I just was like, you bonehead, man. Like, you got to connect with the rest of the crew to kind of know what's going on. But again, he went off on his own, being the man that he is, trying to protect his wife and family. I get it. I get why it happened, but it's just the timing was just terrible. It was just the worst timing. But again, that's how they wrote it. That's how Diablo wrote it. So I just thought it was bad that he showed up. Really bad that he showed up. But it turned out to be good.
Well, I mean, turns out we actually needed him on the
Yeah.
home front because he
Yeah.
did what needed to be done. But again, Diarra's giving him the business. Like, why are you here? You got a wife. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing here, bruh? And so Danger comes down to the basement because they made a diversion. And so while they're in the house doing their thing, honey, the Greeks done showed up because they
Yeah.
sent a diversion. Diarra sent Swa with a fake tape to a fake location, thinking they were meeting Goldie. She has them send the Woodward boys to the real location where Goldie
Mhm.
really was. A kind of battle ensues. The Greeks follow them back to Velvet's house, which Auntie Velvet, you've
Mm.
been in the game too long. And your people too, you don't bring that stuff back to your house. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
They
Come
brought it
on,
back and she
guys.
got out the big one. She was like, "Ba-da-da." Just I didn't see anybody
Listen.
else popping but her. She was getting it in. I was like, she a real soldier, man. Like, seriously. Shoot.
Listen, she was handling that thing. And the next thing was kind of the next scene was a little violent, but Roman did what needed to be done because
Sure
Velvet
did.
had, unaliving in her eyes, okay?
Man.
Uh, because
And
and,
she was
I think oh, go ahead.
and she was bald.
Bald-headed
She was
Diarra unintentionally snatched her wig, y'all.
yeah.
Unintentionally. But I mean, Velvet, I think, was hurt too, right? Because we
Mm.
do find out the real story, which was Velvet was in love with the strip. I'm in love with a stripper. That's Velvet was
Mhm.
in love with her. And when the stripper found out about everything with them wanting to unalive this little boy, she couldn't abide it, right? So she got Velvet for the dough, took that little
Yep.
boy, and left. Okay. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, but what brought him back was his mom who raised him. Her life insurance policy led right back to Velvet. And so that's what brought him actually back to Detroit. And like
Mhm.
Diarra, once the box was open, Pandora's box, he couldn't close it. And so Velvet, I
Yeah.
think, is still kind of hurting from the betrayal because, she felt like she was the only reason he and his mom who raised him, I'm the only reason you're alive. And so now the Greeks are coming back at me because he decided to show back up. It's rocked my world. And so
Yeah.
she's in her own position, which I get. But she had unaliving in her eyes, and Roman took her out with the little spiritual sword. How did you feel about this whole revelation, about the whole scene? What were your thoughts on that, Jay?
Um, I could say it was very well put together. Like I said, escape room, televised escape room. Each piece was needed, right? Roman needed to be there. The little piece that somebody called a dildo, right? It wasn't that. It was an escape thing. She was going to use it to crack the, take out the window so that they can escape. But the Greeks are outside, right? Hola, hey queen. And I thought it was just very intricate, very detailed how they put this together. They were watching the actual commercial that was looking for Dante on the VHS tape. So all of that just played out and just fell into where it needed to fall into. And for Roman to do what he needed to, he saved Diarra's life with that piece, But did you notice how, I think you're on mute. Did you notice how Danger quickly went to
Embraced
Velvet's
her.
aid and embraced to put the car, you know what I'm saying? Like that was his mom, you know what I mean? She
Yeah,
basically raised him, even though she had the blicky to him. She basically raised him, you know what I mean?
she
So,
did.
he's yeah,
I think everyone in the basement forever changed, right? Diarra's
yeah.
now become accustomed with unaliving in front of her, but namely white men, right? Up to this point, it's just been white men who've been unalive
Right.
in front of her. But I think Roman forever changed because you can tell he's lived a pretty square life.
Yeah,
Um, because that was a shock for him. And Danger coming in clutch, I'm gonna clean this up. You guys
right.
just get away. And Diarra says to him as she's leaving, Danger, don't die. And he says to her, "Drive and don't look back." And I'm like, is this mean it's over? No more
I wanted
massage?
I wanted him to kiss her. I wanted to be like, "Don't die." Okay. Mwah! And then he goes off, but that would have been kind of corny, so we just let it be what it what it is.
I mean, Diarra been busting it wide open for Swa. I mean, I guess they couldn't, they couldn't.
I
But it
mean,
would have been a warm embrace at least. I would have been
something,
here for
right?
that because it felt like goodbye. It felt like goodbye, and I hope Danger, if we get when we get a season 2, I pray that Danger is back because
I
I
think he's gonna be
love
back. Yeah, I
his
think he's gonna be
character.
back. He's gonna be back. I think so.
And like you said before, this show does a great job in every aspect. It was completely thought out, right? Because if
Yes.
you remember, see the episode 1, this is where we start out, right? She's in the
Right.
basement escaping, the car is burning behind her,
Yeah.
and we have no clue. So we literally have an example of a full circle moment in
Right.
this dramedy, and I absolutely love this moment. So now she is on the way, honey.
Mhm.
To get her man. What'd you think of the walkout?
Man, like I was on edge a little bit, right? We got the key. Let's go see what's in here. We don't know for sure that he's in here, but it makes sense that he would be because all roads are leading to this. So
Mhm.
when they showed this right here, then I was like, okay, he really was being, kept in there and kidnapped in the whole nine. So when I saw him
Man,
like that, thank you, man. You're doing a great job with these transitions. When I saw him just like that, I was like, yo, like I was happy with Diarra and with everybody else was like, yo, what she thought. Everybody thought she was crazy. She was
They
right.
did.
She was right. She was right. So I was actually like, yeah, I was like, yeah, good job. You found them,
Good
yo.
job, Diarra.
Yeah, you found him with one Jordan sneaker.
Yeah, still that same Jordan. I'm like, how long you had him in there with the same little outfit on? Y'all
Bruh,
ain't give him no sweatpants. Y'all ain't give him
nothing.
nothing. He just been cooped up.
Dang. How long you
But
been cooped up?
yeah,
That's the question.
I was relieved too because at some points it did feel almost like she was in psychosis. I was like, "Sis, come on.
Yeah.
Just let's let it go. He gone. Deontay gone." That would
Especially
have
when
been
she
too
was
easy.
like had the fantasy moments. Remember the fantasy moments when she was talking to him, she was laying in the
Mhm.
bed? We thought she was going crazy. Like, come on, he's
Yeah.
not real. Uh,
Girl, after one night, he put you to sleep one night, and now, you don't know how to act or think, and so,
yeah.
now he's cheesing in the car, honey. They're driving like bats out of heck, but we have
Yeah.
Roman and Monty, we have her and Ambien. He says, "Now where we going?" And I'm like, "Bruh," because ultimately we find out that she was a pawn in his game. You know what I mean? I don't have high
Mhm.
hopes for Deontay in the future. What are your thoughts about this? Was Diarra just a pawn, just something for him to use to get what he wanted? What is this
I
gonna equal out?
say I say no. And what tells me no is the fact that he took that picture and had it framed. So I say, yeah, he kind of put her in the mix because he was gonna do what he needed to do anyway and slip that thing into the lawyer's, pocketbook and then go and investigate the Greeks. I think he was gonna do it anyway. He just so happened to meet her. And I don't think she was a pawn at all. I don't think that he had any idea that she was doing all of this to find him. You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
either. But I mean, the initial date though, she even says it, "He used me to get the end to drop whatever off to Goldie
To the
at the
Goldie.
restaurant." But I get it could have been any woman. I don't think he just you singled her out to use because she
Yeah,
was Diarra, but any woman I think he would have met on Tinder, he would have
right.
brought him there so he could
Would have brought him
accomplish
there,
his purpose.
do his mission.
What
Right,
what
right.
what
But
does the
then he
future
fell in
look like,
love. Well, he fell in love. Like, I mean, come on.
Jay?
For I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just say this. As a man, we don't go out of our way to put like pictures and frames, like unless you're our wife. If you're my wife, I might do something like that. But for whatever reason, Diara really affected him in one way, shape, or form. With the whole first date, da 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 da. It was different. So I don't know if it's like, okay, let's not say love, but let's say that he found a real connection with her. There was
Okay,
something
I
about
can
Diara.
accept that better.
Yeah, there was something that about her pacing and her connection with him, and of course, when they did what they did, the whole bang 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 bang. Obviously he felt something to get that thing framed up and everything. So you know,
He did. He did, and I'll have to examine that again because I was like, "Was there a code in there somewhere?" I don't know. But
oh,
Monique
hopefully,
69 Way says, "Danger better not be better not, better
yeah, we'll
not.
see, we'll
They'll
see.
have heck to pay the piper, cooped
I
up,
don't think
smelling
he
like."
I don't think he got unalive though. I don't think he got unalive. I think he just went up there. It was like, yo, they got away and they took out Velvet, man. We got to go find them. And he's just like diversion, just taking them off track, way away from Diara. I
Who
think
is he
that's
gonna
what he did.
blame it on? Probably the Greeks. He'll probably
Yeah,
blame it on the Greeks. They
yeah,
got in the back way or something. That'd be smart.
yeah.
Cooped up smelling like listen, that's what it looked like. It looked like he stank. Well, he took the right one on that date. He sure did take the right one on the date, but that goes
Sure
back to
did.
the beginning, fate, right? Are things
Yeah,
destined to happen the way that
yeah.
they're gonna happen? Now, Swab here on the phone at Coney Island at the wrong location, calling DR talking about, "Look, we found all these shell companies." You know what I mean?
Mm,
I know you're on your PI stuff, but secretly it does turn me on. I like it. Uh,
hmm hmm
whatever you're doing, just be safe. What'd you think about this moment?
Yeah, he knew he effed up, and he can only do what he can do. But he did drop the information on Vision LLC and the warehouse or something like that.
Mhm.
When he when he pulled out Diara's slow jam tape, I was just dying laughing. Like another another switcheroo on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Just like you switched it on her. Well, I guess you need to switch it on you. You know what I'm saying? So
Flip the
will we
script.
see him? Yeah, will we see him again? Will we see him in season 2 once it comes back? I think we will.
Absolutely.
He played a major role in this, and we still have to find out who is the chief. Who is the chief at this
Yeah.
point? And you remember at the end she gave him, the whole Jordan and everything. I don't know if you got that pic. So
I'll see if I
mhm,
have that. I don't know if I have the other Jordan. But
yeah.
Aja, who was glaringly missing from the season finale, which I was sad about. I wanted to see everybody, but it wasn't that kind of season finale. Diarra
Hmm.
was on the move. She made the list, her 35, under 35, the next generation of entrepreneurs. And do we think she ditched her man when she found out he was a brokey?
Oh hell yeah! We didn't even talk about
She said,
that.
I repent.
You put all your investments in one project. Yeah, I kind of go on my gut. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not broke. I'm just.
Kind of broke. She looked up, she said, Lord, I'm sorry, God.
Please forgive me. She was trying to repent, right?
Oh,
But
and so now big vision. I think Harley
there it
might be the
is.
chief. I think this was a breadcrumb for
Boom,
sure.
boom, boom. There you go. We put it all together. We put it together. Vision
Yep,
LLC, big vision. Boom.
for the
There it
next
is.
generation. So, I
We got it.
mean, you know, eh,
The next
and
generation.
I knew Dresser was looking funny. Now this one got me though, Jay.
Uh-huh.
Woo,
Yeah.
cold-blooded. Diarra told T, "Don't break up with this man
Right.
until the case is done."
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently DJ, like some women listen, and I'm not, I'm a girl's girl, okay? I'm a girl's girl, but we know
Uh,
how we can get sometimes,
mm,
vindictive wise, right? Uh,
mm.
you know what I'm saying? Like Big Keisha's gonna get in BMF crossover. Um, but
Crossover.
yeah, I thought this was shady, and he's dropping tea on Diarra, no pun intended, about her
Well,
being at the club that night.
because Mr. T basically ditched him, I think he's butthurt.
You
Literally.
know what?
And
You know what, Shay? I'm not doing this with you. All
it
right,
took you a
guys,
second
it's
to
been
get
real.
there. He was butthurt, so he's now snitching and doing exactly what DR didn't want him to do. So, yeah. Oh man.
Monique says, I feel bad. Didn't realize Asha was in the last episode. Yeah, she was in there getting it in the last episode, honey, on the
Yes. Yeah.
counter, on the table, on the bed.
They got
She
it.
let a broken dump in the gut. Oh wow, yeah, she did. She did. She let him hit it 3 strokes. DJ
He's
got his fifis and talking wow, a shock. Yeah, Diarra knew it. She called it. But I mean, why
yeah.
did the cop have his picture? So I'm wondering, is he an informant? Is he some sort of
Mm,
CI anyway? Because it's not
mm.
normal to have a random, a photo just of
Or
someone,
maybe they was following all of them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they were following Mr. T and Mr. T was with this guy and you know, I think they've been
and
following
maybe he
them.
works for the chief.
Wow. Well,
Maybe he works.
yeah, he probably does. But remember, since the shooting in the club, he's been following this investigation,
Mhm.
right?
And he told Diarra
So
she was a person of interest. Yeah.
person of interest. So he's following everybody that's connected to her. And if this guy's been staying at Mr. T's house, of course he's walking out, walking in, whatever, whatever. Or he might be an informant, like you said. Yeah.
Mm. The club was strange. He was working in anyway. It was. That
Mm-hmm.
was a freak factory, man. We all knew what was going on
Freaky
in there.
deaky.
But y'all,
Mm,
that was it. We are left with so many unanswered questions, which is why we
yeah.
need to petition for season 2. I'll be watching. Y'all know I will be watching Deadline and all that to see
Right.
if we get any details, Entertainment Weekly, see if we get any updates, on that because I love the series and I think it was
Yeah.
so well done. Kudos to Diarra Kilpatrick for writing and being a part of such an amazing production. And like you said, the cast was stellar, acting was great, the writing was wonderful. It was funny, not over the top. We didn't fall into a ton of stereotypes. Like I just loved it. It was
Yeah.
refreshing.
It was. It was. Very clever, intelligent, labyrinthine. All right, that's the word of the day. Um, and it wasn't the regular. It was different. So thank you once again, and shout out to you for doing a great job and hosting and putting all the slides together and taking us on this journey right here live on YouTube on My Sweet Perspective. Make sure y'all subscribe to her and become a sweet pea. All right,
Thank
today.
you. I appreciate you coming on to do this. I know this is not in your typical content wheelhouse. So definitely appreciate you stepping out of the box and joining me. And on that note, I'm going to give you the floor. Let the people know what you got going on this week, Jay. What's going on in your world?
All right, all right. Well, family, we just finished doing the episode 9 live discussion. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you go back, check that out with myself and Ashley. Absolutely, we're gearing up for the season finale of BMF, which won't be next week, it'll be the week after next. So we're going to work out how we're going to work that out as well. And yeah, we're getting prepared for the Shy family. So we will be going live real soon, talking about what's going to happen, what we expect, and everything. So get ready for those live streams and videos as well, as we're going to be breaking down the characters, anywhere from Duda to Emmett to everybody and what we expect to happen. So look out for that as well. And we are preparing for Ghosts. So look out for all of that. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell, hit the like, and just wait for us to upload because it's coming. It's coming. It's going to be a hot summer.
Absolutely, you guys. And like I said, y'all know I finished Ghost, so it's on and popping. Maybe Jay will come on and do some of these season recaps and maybe a character analysis with me. I mean, I got it all planned out, Jay. It's a 5-part series. So in the weeks leading up to Ghost. So
sounds good to me.
If you down, you heard it here first and you saw him, people. He's down for the 5-part series.
We usually do the countdown for Raising Cain and stuff like that. So, I mean, we lining things up. You know how we do Vacay and Sweet Pea. You know what I mean? Just a match made in heaven, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Period. But as always, I have tons of content. Just dropped like 3-4 videos this morning. Got a couple more that I'm dropping tonight. So hit the notification bell for both of us because you never know when we're dropping. I am going to try to do better, y'all, and get a schedule and get it posted on the community tab. But as always, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us in the chat, for being super active and being just the best family on the YT, to be honest with you. So much love, so much support. We don't say it enough probably, but we appreciate all of you for showing up and showing out for us. We really, really do appreciate that. I'm going to do one more chat before we get off of here because Candy, do the fine. Listen, he is.
Okay. Listen, I'm just glad I'm chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm part of the gang, so I'm good with all of this. You point out the chocolate, but I'm here.
He's like, as long as we stay in the chocolate zone, that's the winner. But you guys, thank you so much for watching. We are calling it a night. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Salute.